Tabletop Spotlight, brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Hey everyone, I'm Adam Harry from Belvoss Souls with
Evan from Dragon's Lair Comics Fantasy.
and we're back with another Tabletop Spotlight. Evan, you know I love me some RPG action.
Yes.
What do we got today?
Who doesn't love RPGs? This one's a good one. If you've ever wanted to play an RPG in a campaign setting, but there's no RPG that has that setting, this is what you're looking for. This is an open source RPG called Open Legend.
Ooh.
And we also brought along its very first campaign setting, which we'll talk about later. But basically, Open Legend is what I said, an open source RPG where you can tack on any setting, any wallpaper, if you will, and play that. It's a D20 system with some very cool, unique rules, and also very cool, unique character creation.
I have more than one set of polyhedral dice with a D20 involved.
Indeed.
Color me curious. Let's take a look inside these Open Legend books here. All right, Evan, we've got the Open Legend open source RPG, the core book here, and of course the campaign setting.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at, man?
This campaign setting came out with the core rulebook. As we talked in the intro, it's an open source rulebook for an RPG, but they came with a campaign setting in case you don't want to take the time to make your own campaign. This is Amaria's Dawn. It's a really cool campaign where it's kind of like conquistadors who are going through a portal. They're like steampunk. It's really cool. Look into it. But
the trick is to just say it real fast.
Amaria's Dawn. Yeah. But it's cool. This guy looks like a space marine, doesn't he?
A little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, but we want to talk about the open source RPG.
Yes.
This is really cool. Now, this is a D20 system, and what it means by open source is exactly what it sounds like. The base rules can be found for free online if you go to their website, and they have a little blurb right here that kind of talks about what makes it different. So it's open source, like I just said, and they actually encourage, there's no licensing, so you can take the rule system and make your own campaign, and you can actually even publish your own campaign with this rule system for free. You don't even have to charge them royalties. Open Dice, it has a really cool dice mechanic where every time you roll on the highest value for your die, you get to take that number and you get to roll again and add that to that number.
Oh.
It's called explosive dice. So it's a really cool system. And then Open Legend, they're talking about you can take any setting, sci-fi, fantasy, and make it steampunk and make it a cool system. Exactly. So we've talked on the show before about the Genesis system, which is from Fantasy Flight. This is basically that, but for indie RPGs.
Nice.
It has its own D20 system.
Yeah, the exploding dice mechanic seems really interesting.
Well, let's get into it. I mean, so one thing that's really cool.
Well, that counts for any die roll.
Any die roll.
So, like, I was thinking D20 in my head, but if I roll a 6 on a D6, I get to...
Yeah. So if you and here's the best part: if you roll another 6 on that D6, you get to go again.
It still keeps going.
Yeah, you keep going. It's gonna keep going, which is really cool. Another thing about this is there's no character sheet.
Okay.
And the reason for that is since it's open source and you get to make your own kind of setting, they recommend that you make your own character sheets.
Okay.
And kind of you can like lay it out differently and stuff like that. And on their website, I think they have like a few links to like really easy to use character sheet builders
like
for other websites. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
But here's the kind of action rule, which is very similar to anyone who plays any other kind of D20 system, Pathfinder, stuff like that. You're rolling a die against another check and seeing if you pass.
So it's a target die system.
So
if I need a 15 on a check,
exactly,
I'm going to roll my D20 and add any appropriate attributes. Or attribute dice. Or whatever.
Anything like that. Yeah.
And then if I beat that number, I pass.
You pass.
And if I don't, I fail.
If you don't, you fail, or the story progresses as GM's choice. Some leniency, but that's like any other RPG.
Yeah.
And don't forget exploding dice. So if you roll a 20, roll it again.
You might really, really pass.
What's probably the coolest part about this book is the character creation. There are no races. There are no classes. Basically, you get to make your own race and class that kind of correspond with the setting, and then you're buying attributes that you think fit that race or class. So how in D&D you choose human, you can
you get +1 to 2 stats of your choice, and like a bonus.
All these races have these different abilities that are associated with them and come with them, but this one player can be an orc, another player can be an orc, but they can have totally different stats.
Ooh.
Because we're both humans, but we're totally different people.
We're the exact same people. What are you talking about?
Except for that glorious beard on your face.
That's fair. I took the attribute to be able to grow a beard.
To grow a beard. I did not take that. I didn't have enough points for that.
That's fair.
So that's what's really cool about this one, because the setting is going to be totally different. you're gonna have orcs, or you're
I kind of like that
cyberpunk.
concept. I never thought about it like
Exactly.
in the way of like, yeah, just because you're human, we are very different human beings. Just because you're both orcs doesn't mean you're gonna be the exact same kind of orc.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
So the first thing you do is you choose 2 exceptional physical traits, which I have a list of examples. 2 defining social traits, and then a secret. And then your secret's just something that none of the other players know, the GM knows, and they can add it for flavor.
That's the character hook stuff.
Exactly, the character hook stuff. So physical attributes, and it's broken down into 4. There's physical attributes, mental, social, and then extraordinary.
Okay.
It's like your magic, your abilities, like stuff like that.
I like this. This is interesting.
And it's a really easy to build. You can take, say, recommended, jack of all trades. So you're
yeah.
good in most things.
Do you have so if we're making the comparison to D&D or Pathfinder?
Yeah.
There's 6 stats. Are we rolling? Are there going to be 6 attribute stats that you choose from, or do you actually have all of these stats that you're rolling on? How does that work? Or do you kind of
you have all of these, right?
Oh, okay.
But you have them from 0 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah, or I think it's actually 0 to 6, and they don't have the 5 for the first level character. The 6 for the first level character. And then, so for Jack of all trades, they're going to have 3, 2, and 1 in pretty much all of these, except they're not going to be very high in certain things, whereas a specialized hero is going to have 5 in something. And with that 5...
You're basing that off of the array cost here.
Exactly. Well, you can do the cost, or you can do totally rolling.
Yeah.
It's totally open for that, or a GM can come up with their own system they can do for it. And then, of course, the higher you are in certain attributes, the better off you're going to be in checks for those attributes.
Right, that makes total sense, yeah.
So you have your attribute dice over here. This is so if you had a 3, for instance. Oh, so it actually goes up to 10. I'm sorry. If you had a 3 in, let's say, agility, and you need to make a check for it, you're going to roll your d20 plus 1d8.
Oh,
that's how you do it. And these dice
instead of adding your attribute score, you have a die roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's another die roll, which is cool too, because hey, I'm really good at computers, but sometimes I don't know how it does certain things. It's like a real world situation. Or I'm really athletic, but I can't jump over this fence right now.
Maybe my legs are sore from leg day.
There's still a chance you're gonna fail.
Yeah,
so that's
not
really
a flat.
Cool. Yeah.
Flat, this is also fun for those players like me who just like to roll a ton of dice.
Oh yeah,
I love rolling like a d20 and then a handful of d6s. That'd be fun.
There you go. It goes up to 4d8 for level 10,
which is pretty saucy. I like that.
Then you do your defense and stuff like that. That's based off of your attributes, like most RPGs.
Sure.
We're gonna skip ahead a bit. You can do archetypes, so they have kind of like
if you wanted to play a quote class, like the bard,
they can do it. But this is only for a reference. This is really good. This book is designed for both people who have played a lot of RPGs and people who are brand new to RPGs.
Yeah.
Brand new people then might want to look at the archetypes. And it goes from fantasy. Look, you can have a Manticore companion.
Heck
look
yeah,
at
you
that.
Can.
But yeah, this is
so robots. Okay.
You have a mechanic with a partner robot. This is just really cool.
Okay, so this is literally like
there's a lot too. So this is gaming XP and leveling up. This is just talking about leveling up. It actually works a lot like usual RPGs, so we're going to skip that ahead. And then actions and attributes. This is really just how you are going to be using your abilities and checks and stuff like that.
Not to put you on the spot, but actions. If combat, right? Are we still doing like 6-second intervals with like I've got a move action, attack, or other action, and then reaction, or is it going to be like basically are we playing modified D&D rules, or is it slightly different, or is it even further? The
attacking actually kind of seems like it's modified D&D rules, but it's kind of open source too, based off of the game.
Okay.
It's all dependent on your enemy has this challenge rating, and you want to get over to do damage.
Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of basically it. It's very open on that.
Okay.
Now, it does talk about, though, so since you can choose the size of your character,
your
size is your base width times 2 for your arm
Okay.
length. So, let's say I'm a regular human, you have like a 15-foot range, if you will.
Sure.
So, like, you can lunge at someone and stuff like that. But if you're a giant, it's going to go up to like 20, 25.
Okay, so basically the movement and stuff like that, if you're playing on a grid, it might be a little easier to see it visually, but you could also theater the mind this really easily. And then the actions and what you can do in combat is kind of based on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This book is really relying on the players and the GM getting together and saying, this is what's fair, we should do this. This is a really good kind of guideline for making your own campaign and your own rules, and then you can play off of them. But it's still structured enough where you can just play with this book. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna skip ahead to Yeah, I mean legend points as well, which are kind of like these extra special points. I guess you could say they give you other abilities.
Sure.
Banes and boons, they're just like in D&D where like, or if you've ever played Edge of the Empire for Star Wars, it's you have like some bounty hunters on your back and you want to try to escape. These are that part of your backstory.
Bane, but
exactly. But there can be also a boon. You have a lucky knife.
Yeah.
That is actually very lucky,
Sure.
Has some magical properties for
That's
luck.
why the bounty hunter's after you.
Exactly. It was his knife.
It was his knife.
So, fatigued, stuff like that.
These are kind of like feats in some ways, but not.
Yeah. And there is a lot of them.
Yeah.
So we're going to just, I think I actually skipped. Yeah, these are, okay, yeah. These are the boons. Yeah. So these are like a little...
I love the art, by the way.
Yeah,
through here. It just
little
shows
abilities.
like the very different settings you can play in.
Yeah. Feats.
There are feats, okay.
There are feats, yes, I'm sorry. These are kind of like, you're not going to get a lot of these in the game for your character, but because they're kind of powerful, more powerful, if you will, than D&D, but there are some good ones, and you can make your own. They talk about how you can make your own for any feats, any boons, any banes, like, you can just make your own. And so this book also has a lot of just examples and that you can use.
I love that it's so open to really, if you want to create whatever you want to create, you can do it with
It's just really cool. Like, instead of taking the D&D book or the Pathfinder book and saying, I want to run a different setting, and then just kind of number crunching and changing the values and stuff like that, this book has this. Now, it's also really cool, too. This book has, let's say you have an attack, like in D&D, where you have electric shock, and it's like a 5-way split. But instead, in this book, you're playing a sci-fi where you have like a laser shotgun that does the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Totally same stats.
Okay.
So those two attacks, they have the same name, if you will, in the book, but you can use it for a sci-fi setting or a fantasy setting. Totally the same. Yeah. Perks and flaws. So you got a lot of those. And you can use no boons and no banes or no perks and no flaws if you really want to.
Yeah.
But then you go into equipment, and the equipment's obviously a wide range of fantasy equipment and sci-fi equipment.
Okay.
Armor and stuff like that.
Just lots of examples, lots of do-it-yourself, but good core rules, it sounds like, to go from.
Now, going back to your question for combat.
Yeah.
There's still initiative. There's still surprises. So, like in the Star Wars campaign, you can you can be ambushed and stuff like that. In waiting to act. Now, the combat works. So you make a damage attack. So you're gonna
you determine the attack value that you need to hit. Yeah.
Your target, and then I think you're on a target.
So this is talking about major actions.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Major action may be traded for a move action. So you do kind of have the major. It sounds like you get a move action. What are your action options? Is what I was getting at.
These are all about initiative.
Okay.
So it's gonna be on this side.
Taking your turn. On your turn, there we go.
Yeah.
You may take one major action, one move action, any number of minor actions, or one focus action.
Okay.
So a major action may be traded for a move action.
And this focus action takes over all of those.
Right,
so you're sacrificing all of those for a focus action.
I like these, any number of minor actions. That could make sure that you clarify with your players ahead of time.
For if you are the DM or GM,
killing someone with multiple stab wounds is an attack
I will stab
action.
them 80 more times for minor actions.
Yeah, I will attack them 100 times. No, that's cool. This is what I was asking about. So okay.
What's really cool too is you don't have to use a grid. They have rules for combat on a grid, but you don't have to. It can be open. So they have that. Like again, it's just this book is meant for open source, open playing. Keep going. So we got other things like more minor actions. So examples of minor actions: you can make an opportunity attack. You can sustain a boon, draw a sheath weapon.
Yeah.
If you've played RPGs before, this should look very familiar. Let's say your sword in a sheath. You want to take it out, stuff like that. Keep going. A lot of combat. Running the game, so if you are wanting to be the GM, here's your section.
Yeah.
It's going to go over not only... You've already read the rules, so it's also going to go over creating your own adventure, because that's really what's important for this one. Let's say you wanted an adventure in the 40k universe because you missed those old 40k books that are no longer in print. You can make your own adventure for that. It's going to tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
But also, it's going to tell you... really good tips on how to be a good storyteller, adding danger, motivation, and twists into your story.
Cool.
So it's even a good book.
No matter what system you're playing, I always like flipping to like taking a core rulebook and flipping to their DM section and just reading about like how to be a better game master.
Oh yeah,
they always find something new, and no matter what setting.
That's what I was gonna say. It's so weird how every single book just has better, like all of them have good advice, and they're all different.
Yeah, they all have one or two things you can pick up and just learn from. If you've never GM'd before, these are great starting points. If you have GM'd before, you will find something in here that's going to be useful. Yeah. So, cool. Okay. Let's skip ahead. Is there any other final stuff? I'm assuming there's a. I think. Is there a monster manual in here at all?
There is. No, keep going.
Because you gotta have some bad guys, right?
Keep going. Almost there, I think.
On Old West setting. I'd play an Old West setting. That'd be
special
crazy.
equipment. We can just kind of. We can skip over
Keeps going. Man, this book's got a lot.
Legendary items. I don't think actually there is mounts and vehicles. I don't think there's a monster manual.
Okay, so that's okay because you can, as the DM, you can make that stuff up.
Yeah.
Real quick too. Yeah. I know we went through a lot. This is the campaign setting.
So this is their first one. They're gonna have more. This is steampunk versus natives, basically.
Yeah, I wanted to read off the written by here. This is Brian Feister, Ryan Shapples, Matthew Mercer, and Ed Greenwood.
So, interesting. I didn't see that name.
Yeah, there's some big name guys in here that have worked on this setting, so maybe that'll interest you. This book I was flipping through has got a lot of really cool stuff in here. Again, I'm not going to go through all this. Basically, it's the two worlds are colliding type of. There's an open portal between the two worlds, and invaders, visitors, whatever you want to call them, run around. Right. I wanted to show this off. This was asking about the bestiary or bad guys. Oh, okay. This book actually has all examples of stuff monsters in here, of NPC stat lines and stuff like so. Just if you wanted to pick this up as a companion, just to give you an idea of how maybe the stat blocks for monsters are supposed to look. Yeah. On top of that, it's a wonderful new place to go stomping around.
Great artwork.
A lot of fun artwork, a lot of inspirational stuff in here.
I think one of the
to build your own books.
Cool parts too is I don't know if there's actually any adventures in here, but the cool part too is if you ever finish a campaign that's in this setting, you have more to look forward to because they're going to come out with totally different settings for this game. And if you like the system, that's even better. So
yeah, if you are looking for a guidebook to use this book, the core book, definitely would recommend flipping through this one just to get a better idea. Yeah. But again, this is a full campaign world that you can add on to and make it your own. So yeah, very cool stuff. Pretty exciting stuff. This is open source RPG, Open Legends. So cool stuff. Let's hop out for a really fast recap. Well, that was the Open Legend RPG books. Again, this is the core book, rule book here. If you want to play any setting, you definitely need to start here. Yes. And this is the campaign guide. Again, say it fast. Amrosdan. Sorry, we're butchering it. But it's a really cool setting. Yeah. Again, if you want to pick this one up to get started, but also need maybe a little help with world generation or just want more ideas, inspiration, pick this one up too. Really cool stuff as a combo. I think they work really well together.
Yes, I agree.
Let's crunch the numbers on this one real fast. Obviously, RPGs. Yeah. So playtime is going to vary. Number of players also vary. Yeah. But these are also available online. So
the core rules are available for free on the website.
This one's not though.
No.
This one's paid. This one's free.
Yeah. Well, this one has stuff that you can't find online in the book. Yeah. So there's still a reason to pick this book up other than having a physical copy.
Right. And if I wanted to pick these up, how much are they going to cost me?
$40 each.
So they're both $40.
So they're cheaper than your usual RPG book, core book in the first place. So they're pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty good deal. And again, it's got some twists on D20 systems. Yeah. But if you've played D20 systems before, you should be able to slide right in here.
Great for new players, great for old players of D20 systems.
Yeah. Very cool stuff. Well, that again, if you want to go see these online or get a better idea, that is openlegendrpg.com. Yeah. So go check these books out. And they are both now available.
Now available, just came out.
Go check them out in stores. I'm Adam Harry from BoLS.
I'm Evan from Dragon Slayer Comics Fantasy.
And this has been another Tabletop Spotlight. Thanks again for watching. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.